Shadakaka, what's happening, folks? Johnny Lee Long, and I'm at the Hobo Depot. But look, I'm outside, I ain't inside. And who's right there? He got a stocking cap on. That tells you how cold it is. We're in the wintertime. I don't know if this is the first day of spring or what, but it's like 40 degrees out here. Anyway, so a lot of people are like, well, why you outside? Because it's pretty out here. I'm from North Carolina. I'm a country boy. But anyway, today we're gonna talk about how to fry or unfry a fried ear. That sounds like chicken. How to unfry a fried ear. All right, so check it out. I'm using my 2009 Music Man Stingray. All right, we already know that with the Stingray, that I'm taking mute off. With the Stingray, everything is topside. Are you on, baby? You're not even on. And you on. I hear you, Gary. I hear you. All right, so look. I hear you, Gary. I hear you. So I'm using my BBC cab, and I'm using my Hartley Benton head. That's 500. All right, so we already know that the Music Man Stingray and Sabers are like head cutters. They head cutters. So you're thinking, I like that sizzling sound. I like it. It cuts. It just puts it right there in the mix. You can't get away from it. I like that. What happens when you get a call, and in that call you're doing Motown? All right, you're in the studio. You're doing Motown. You're doing Stax. You're doing Polydor. You got to do all this stuff. I'm not saying that this bass can't do it. Never said that. But you got 3 days before the session, and you have to retune your ear. All right, taking it to all bass, taking the treble all the way back out, taking the mids all the way out will only give you this. Okay, I get it. Who gonna know if you turn everything off and just play all bass? What we fail to realize is that they didn't play all treble or basses with a lot of treble. They didn't do that. So here's my concept of what I would do. All right, if I had to need to unfry my ear, the first thing I want to do is put this down. All right. Of course, I know it's my favorite bass. I already know that. It's my favorite. Look, favorite. But I need to pick up something that's natural. All right. That's going to get me close to the same sound of, put the tape on it. Going to get me close to the same sound of what I have here as far as dual coordinates thickness. All right. So I go to the P bass or the natural jazz. All right, this is a PJ bass, so it's pretty much people kind of put it in the jazz area. I don't think it's a jazz. I think it's just regular P bass. So what I normally do, all right, is go to a natural bass. Natural meaning non-active. It's there. Now, coming through this, everything sounds clean anyway. Now, but for me, I have to hear that natural. That natural is no preamp, nothing. I don't care if you think you turn your preamp all the way off here, it's still active. It's still gonna give you that nice clean top end. You don't want clean top end. A lot of people say, well, bro, just throw your hand back here on the battery bridge and mute it. All that is nice, but it restricts you. A lot of people say, oh, I just take a piece of foam and throw a piece of foam in the back of it. Okay, you can do that too. But I'm talking about unfrying your ear. say if you have to play this bass for on a tour and you can't take your Music Man, you have to take something that the tour wants. The first thing you want to do is basically get you something natural. I don't care where I set this, it's gonna be clean, but it's not gonna be sizzly clean. All right, even if I turn the treble all the way up on my peak. You get what I'm saying? That's all the way up. That's all the way up. Underneath, it's still got that bottom happening. Underneath, but it's natural sounding. Your ear's not waiting to be. I gotta hear that extra crisp. No, you don't want to hear the extra crisp. You're trying to deep fry your whole head site. I said head site. There's no head site. Okay, to a lot of people, you're like, oh man, there's too many ways to get around it. I get it. But you're gonna have some issues if you've been playing a high-end bass that has the most amazing preamp, like this bass here, all right? Or any bass that has amazing preamp. It's gonna be hard for you because, first of all, this bass is not gonna react like that bass. Even if I had a Music Man, the new ones they got out, the passive ones, it still is not going to react like that bass with that preamp in it. So I got to retrain my ear. Some people call it retraining. I call it undefrying your ear. Undefrying. And there are basses out right now that passive, they still sound amazing. Passive wise. I said passive way. Look, I said passive way. Passive wise, they still sound amazing. Like take for instance this bass right here sounds amazing. Just natural. But you know what's missing? That quickness, that snap, that sizzle, all that's missing. Because I can't use it on the gig that I'm going to, so I have to deep fry my whole sense of hearing. And to a lot of people, it doesn't, what I'm saying probably won't make too much sense. Because there's so many ways, like I said, there's so many ways you can get around it. But it's gonna be a pain for you, actually, on a gig, to even knowing that you don't have an active bass. So you need to sit down with something like this. All I'm saying is just sit down with it, before the gig, a couple of days, maybe a couple of weeks before the gig starts. If it's a tour, a couple of weeks. If it's a couple of days, you need to sit, before you do it, you need to sit down those 3 days, 4 days before the gig. And that way when you get in the studio, you pretty much know what you're gonna be hearing and what you're not gonna be hearing. The key is, you're more comfortable if you hear what you used to, and you're more uncomfortable if you don't hear what you used to. What you need to do is get yourself comfortable of what you have not been hearing, or no, get yourself comfortable to what you're used to but you're not hearing now. Something like that. So, and a lot of people don't do studio work. They really feel like that any bass they take in the studio, it would sound the same way, and that's not true. Every bass in your ear sounds completely different in a studio, and there are a lot of cats that's been playing for 50,000 years that don't know that. A bass is a bass. No, it's not. If that was the case, you only own one bass. All right. So my concept is to deep fry yourself. You have to actually really deep fry yourself. And when I mean this, you have to leave the active, put the active down. Even if you got push-pull, active, passive, come on, guys. That works. But it's not this. This is not active, passive. This is just raw. This is raw killing right here. That's why a lot of people get Rickenbackers. A lot of people get P basses, old ones, new ones. You get, standard. They call them standard now. You get standard P's and standard jazzes, and any bass is standard. Because a lot of cats don't want to hear all that activeness, And those are the cats, when you listen to them in the studio, they're comfortable. they're comfortable in the studio, they're comfortable on stage. You get a guy that's already fried, and you put him in the studio, he wants everything sound fried. And if something ain't going right on his bass, as far as what the producer wants to hear, he's gonna switch him to another bass. And you know what's gonna happen? You're gonna be uncomfortable. You're not gonna hit like you want to. The gig is gonna feel like you know, I gotta do this because I'm getting paid. And see, when you do something because I'm doing it because I gotta get paid, then you have an issue. There's an issue there because your heart is not in it. So I don't want to make this video too long, but I hope you guys get the gist of what I'm saying. I kept thinking about this morning. It's like, so suppose I want. Now you do have cats that plays active basses and passive basses, and may lean more to the passive bass than the active bass. And when you see them on the gig, they're comfortable. But then you have people that won't even play a passive bass. If you give it to them, they won't play it. And of course, if they, like I said, if they put you on the spot that they have to play it, that gig is done for them. It's done. They're gonna ask you, hey man, can you turn the highs up a little bit more? No. We just want to hear the natural sound of the bass. And whatever that bass sounds like, it's what we want to hear. So that's. It's amazing. A lot of you guys say, well, so what is your favorite bass? My favorite bass is whatever's in my hand at that particular time. It could be an active bass, it could be a passive bass, whatever's in my hand. But if I know I'm doing a Motown gig and I got a passive bass at the house, I want to take that. I'm not saying that the active bass is not going to work on the gig. Definitely will. But it will actually make you overplay. And people are like, I ain't never heard that before in my life. Look, I have, because I did it. I took an active bass to a Motown thing, and it was just, I overplayed because everything was so available. Where on a passive bass, I stayed where I needed to stay because the notes were slower and they were more distinct, and I had to make them ring. So, well, I'm just throwing that stuff out there, man. You guys are like, oh, Johnny, come on, man. I'm like, okay, I get it. But if you do enough studio work, you'll understand what I'm talking about. And I know there'll be people coming and saying, hey, man, I get it, and I don't get it. And it's cool. You've been at home all this many days, years. I gotta say years. You've been at home this much time. You had opportunity to go through your bases, to play your passive bases against your active bases, and learn them both. Learn both of them. Have your ear quick to both, not just the one. So once again, I want to thank everybody for coming out and checking out my videos. Oh my God, thank you. For those who are donating your money and your time for the Hobo Depot and my CD, thank you so much. I'm here for you guys, prayer wise. My wife, my queen, and I are here for you guys if you need us. A lot of people are calling because they're going through things. They're going through home things and job things and financial things, and they really need somebody to talk to. So a lot of people are just calling for prayer. We can do that. Don't cost you nothing. All right. We don't want you to send us money because oh man, he prayed for. No. You send money because you want to, not because we ask you to. We never asked you to do that. But we just want to say one thing, that we love you guys with all our hearts, all our soul, and all our mind. And Hootie, my boy right here, he's staying out here for the rest of the day. Look, shut up, caca. Peace out.